Hi, this is Ken Bowers. This is my third video. I have shot two before, and in this first videos discussed what it was like finding out that you had hepatitis C. In the second video, discussing how hard it was in my journey just to get medication to my front door. As I mentioned in the last video, that my medicine was caught in Mexican customs and I ordered it from then another supplier. So a little bit about medication, first of all. If you're like about 75% of us, you're going to have a genotype 1, 1A or B behind it potentially. A smaller minority is going to have genotypes 2 through 6. That's important that you know that. That's why I'm asking you when you're telling me you want medication, what genotype you are, because if it's 1, then you can take genotype 1, then you can take a generic form of Harvoni. If it's genotype 2 through 6, then you're looking at taking a generic form of something like Eclusa. So it's important to know what your genotype is. So here I am. I'm now in the latter half of February of 2017. I start taking this medication. I tell my doctor I'm going to start on this date, and 2 weeks later I'm pre-scheduled to take blood work. And every 2 weeks from that point forward I took blood work. That same blood work would be required whether you purchase the $50,000 to $80,000, $90,000 medication, or if you're taking the genetic medication, the generic medication, you're going to take the same blood test. So I started taking my blood test. The first blood test came back, and 2 weeks after I started the medication, I took the blood test. A few days after that, I get a letter from my doctor saying, "There's no detectable virus, congratulations." Now, does that mean I can stop taking the medication? Because I still have 2.5 months supply of that medication. No, absolutely not. You have to take all 3 bottles of the medication. The science is based on that. So now let me just talk, as I mentioned, I lost my first shipment in Mexican customs. About 2 weeks after I start taking my medication, find out I'm cured, because I ordered from a second source, I get the first medication. So then I want to get that out to people that might need it. And there were 3 different people from 3 different states, and they only needed 1 bottle. And this might be you. That's why again, when you're filling out information, I'm asking you quantity. You may be one of those people that just needs 1 bottle. In their case, it was kind of a disgusting story, really. Their first bottle of medication was in between $300 and $500. In one case, it was $200. The second bottle was similar. The third one was $6,000 in one case, $9,000 in another case. That's kind of disgusting. But in any event, I start taking this medication. Now, there are some side effects that come along with this medication. Most people have no side effects. Let's talk about, just before I go into that, what it was like to have this 5-6 years ago. My cousin actually went through that, and they gave him interferon, and he had to take it for 9 months, and he was extremely sick. Yes, he did miss work. There were weeks where he just felt so bad he had a hard time even getting out of bed. So, I mean, you'd almost just rather have hepatitis C. But that's how bad it was. Just a few years back, if you were diagnosed with hepatitis C and you wanted to get rid of that virus from your system. Now we have these drugs that, I mean, they're almost like a miracle drug, if you will. Very little side effects. 3 months later, 95% of us are cured. And for some of us, that 5%, we might have to take another 3 months supply of the medication. If you have cirrhosis, you might have to take another supply of the medication in order to completely get rid of the virus. But that's pretty amazing. Now, I will say with me, I think I felt a little bit of depression the first week that I was taking this medication. I definitely had some insomnia the first week of this medication. Now, if you want to take something for that, I've given you a website. that you can cross-check that medication to make sure it doesn't interact badly with the generic form of Harvoni or Epclusa. I will tell you with, for example, Harvoni, you definitely cannot take antacids, but if you're working with a doctor, make sure that you tell your doctor any supplement or anything like that that you might be taking in the normal course of your life. After those 2 weeks, though, I got to say, I really started feeling great. Probably better than I have in recallable years before that. So I think you'll find in doing your own research that that's a similar story that you're hearing from a lot of people, and that's a fantastic thing. With regard to alcohol, smoking, sex, I addressed that a little bit in questions and answers, but my doctor told me not to drink while I took this medication. As I mentioned in a previous video, I have lost 2 younger siblings to health issues. And so I took this very seriously. So yes, I quit drinking. That was really tough because I really love drinking beer, and especially in the summertime. But can you drink and take this medication? I know people that have. Remember, this is attacking a virus. So you might not be helping yourself out by drinking, but if you do, then you're probably going to have similar results. I quit smoking while I was taking this medication. Should you quit smoking? Well, once again, it's attacking the virus. Should you have sex? Well, I've been with my same partner, my wife, for over 20 years. She was found not to even be exposed to the antibodies of hepatitis C. So very hard to contract the disease that way. Again, I don't think that there's any issue with having sex. Those are just a few of the concerns that I know people have raised in the fact that it might change their lifestyle a little bit. In changing my lifestyle, I will do one more video. I'm kind of waiting to put up another place on my website that just talks about my journey of what I did while taking the medication, because I lost 50 pounds over that process. I quit drinking, I quit smoking, I did a lot of things, found out a lot of things about myself that if you want to try it, it may help you too. I just want to share that with you, and that will be a next video, and it's probably going to come out in a few months. But thank you for spending some time with me.